What if you could take some of the best third-party verified trading strategies, the ones that actually work, and make them run 24/7 automatically without you having to touch your screen? Well, that's exactly what I want to do in today's video, because by the end of this video, I think we could have one of the most powerful swing trading bots that's out there right now that's actually verified. It's not just taking someone's word for it, it's actually verified, and it's going to be completely automated. Now, we're talking about something that will trade real tickers, uses live market data, and will execute automatically, completely hands-off once we set it up. Because the problem that swing traders like myself could face is that we might have a good strategy, but if we just happen to miss one trade, miss an alert, it could be a while before the next one comes. We also probably don't have the time to scan through every single chart out there to find exactly what fits our strategy and then backtest it. So today I'm going to be showing you how we can fix that. I'm going to be going over to AlphaInsider, where you can track and even copy third-party verified trading strategies that are trading, that are actually logging results that cannot be edited after the fact. So a signal fires, it gets logged, it gets marked in AlphaInsider, and then we get to see what actually happens and how well it does going forward. It's not like the owners of these strategies can go back and then erase trades and then put in the good ones, take out the bad ones. Now, I'll be honest, I'm familiar with the site already, so I have a good handle of what's going on, but the goal here is for me to build a diversified trading strategy that's completely automated, so I don't have to sit at my computer and watch charts all day long. All right, let's jump in and find the best stock strategies out there right now. All right, so here I am on the home page. I will leave a link below this video to check out Alpha Insider to sign up and follow along and copy exactly what I am doing. You can do exactly what I am doing if you were to follow along. So go ahead and sign up. I'm then going to go over to the top stock strategies, and I can sort by this year. I might want to go back over the past 5 years. Some of the strategies on here, you'll see that won't fill up the entire window because they haven't been around for 5 years. So it just depends upon what you're looking for. I'll start there, but I might jump down to this year just to kind of narrow things in. That's what I'm going to do. Now, I can go by top, performance, trending, popular, newest. I'm going to go off performance because I want to see like what's actually crushing. And we have this one right here that over the past 5 years is up 423%. I don't know off the top of my head what the math on that is in terms of an average return per year, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's absolutely crazy and it's blowing the S&P away. So that's pretty cool as it is right there. But just because we have a high number right here does not mean we should be jumping in and trading that strategy and saying this is the best thing since sliced bread, because we've been in a pretty strong market over the past couple of years. However, if you go back in time, we do know that 2022 was a bear market, and this strategy actually seemed to be holding up pretty well during that period. It's actually not done great at the beginning of 2025 or the late 2024 into early 2025, and then since then it's bounced back. But if I click on it and open it up, I can see what it's actually trading and how it's actually making its money. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up to the top right where the search bar is, and I'm going to go to the filter section, and I'm going to just jump in. I'm going to put in 10 trades over the past, let's start with 5 trades because some strategies might not be that active as of late. I'll put in 5, so at least we can filter by somewhat more active trading strategies. And I know that this one right here is crushing it. The multi-MA MTF sandbox strategy. This one's crushing it. If we can see like overall, it's done very well, but it does have a lot of choppiness. If I hover over this, it's got a 60% max drawdown. I don't know if I want to be able to stomach that, but at the same time, 60% max drawdown over the past couple of years has only been around since January 10th, 2023. So not even 3 years as I'm making this video, and it's up over 300. That's over 300% per year on average. So would you be down for a 60% max drawdown strategy that returns you 300+%? I don't know. That's not for me to decide, but that's ultimately your decision. So that's one to keep in the back pocket. I know we have that like in the back. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that one. We have this risky picks, which of course sounds like, okay, that's not a great idea. It's literally described as my YOLO trading strategy. Well, let me tell you, your YOLO trading strategy by a crypto user is crushing because it's up over 300% and it had a max drawdown of 44%, which actually is better than the last one. And it's not super active. So we know that it just trades a couple of stocks here and it gets the job done. So this is trading a couple as of late. You can see Block, Intel, Google, not like there's penny stocks or anything like that on here. I'm going to bump it down to the 1 year time frame so we can see the top strategies over this past year that have a minimum of 5 trades. And one that comes to mind, or there's actually a couple that come to mind, but this one right here, the mean reversion and trend following, there is a video out on the channel already that I actually dove into this one specifically. So we unpacked it and we talked about all of these trades here, what was going on, and how it's up now massively over the past couple of months, really since, it looks like since May 21st or May 22nd, when it took its last trade. We can see that the last trade was on May 23rd, actually, where it bought Google. And essentially it's riding it, but it's not just buying it and holding it for no reason. There's actually a reason behind it. We dove deep into that, so I actually know what's going on here. And if you want to learn more, whoever created the strategy has the opportunity to put a description and then even potentially a link to TradingView where you can find more information and potentially even back test the trading strategy, which is super awesome. So make sure to check the description of these strategies. So this one I've already subscribed to, and I'll leave it right there. But if I wanted to subscribe to a new one as an example, I can go to this guy right here, and I click on the subscribe button, and now I'll be able to follow this thing live, and it's added to my subscription tab, which I can go over to right here. For example, jump over to the subscription tab, and I can see all the strategies that I have now subscribed to in one place. So I might be able to keep a nice log of really good trading strategies. That's kind of what I've done. So when I go back to the search, if you see the auto trade and not the subscribe button, that means I've already subscribed to it. And now it's asking me if I want to auto trade it. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go and create a trading bot based off the strategies that I like the most. This is one that I want to add. If you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend going back and checking that video out after this one. But I'm also going to add 2 more to the bot as well. And I'll show you why, or I'll explain why that's important in just 1 second. So we click on auto trade. It's going to prompt me with 2 options. I can make a new trading bot, or I can use an existing one. This is on an Alpaca paper account, as we can see right here. I'm gonna put it into here because I'm gonna kind of start fresh and recreate this thing. So I have this kind of as a placeholder. I'm gonna get rid of this, and I'm going to go inside of here, and I'm going to put 100% just for now. We'll come back to that in just a second, but I'm gonna go 100% for right now. Now, what this means is that it's going to essentially take the 100% of my portfolio, and it's going to divert all of those funds to trading this strategy. That's it. I can also set that up by dollar amount. So for example, if I click on the dollar sign, it'll now give me the opportunity to say, okay, here's how much money I have remaining. How much of this money do you want to essentially set aside for this trading strategy? I might be comfortable putting in 50K out of 150K. So let's do exactly that. And now we have $102,000 remaining. I'm going to click on save. It's going to bring me to the bot, which will now rebalance automatically for me, but I don't want to stop there. I'm not quite done yet. A couple of different ways I can add to this is I can go to where it says new allocations, and I can add for my subscriptions. I'm not going to do that because I want to look into a couple of these strategies before I add them. So let's go back to that main page and do exactly that. Okay, so we're here. Now there's a couple of things that have caught my attention that I am really interested in. One of those being the SPY VOS strategy, because it's actually going to kind of play out very similar to how the S&P has returned over the past year. So if I jump into this one, I can see all the buys and sells and see that it's up 27.76%. Nothing insane, but it could be a really good backbone and a way to diversify this trading bot so that I don't get absolutely destroyed if, let's say, an individual strategy that's trading Palantir or Netflix were to go on a terrible run for a couple of weeks. Obviously, the same thing could happen for this one, but I also know it has an 18% max drawdown this year, which is fairly safe relative to other strategies I've seen. I'm going to subscribe to it, and now I'm going to click on auto trade. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring it into my current bot, and I'm going to now update the allocations. So like I said before, if I go to dollar amounts, this is at 50,000 roughly, and it'll round it to where it needs to round it to make this thing, pretty. On this strategy, I'm going to put in $50,000 as well. So now I'll have roughly 52,000 left. Click on save. Boom. That's good. Now back to the home page. Let's find the final strategy. Now here's where things get a bit controversial. Obviously, I could go and pick the next best one, the Palantir VOS strategy. It is up 85% this year, but it has had a 67% max drawdown. That's a lot. I can go with the coin one, 60% max drawdown. I can go with this Intel one, 52. I'm actually going to be a little bit less risky here, and I'm going to jump down to this candlestick signal strategy right here. The reason why is it's doing very well. The market's actually not doing well right now as I speak and film this video. It's doing well, and I want to go back to that period in early April of 2025 when the markets were absolutely crashing, and I can see this thing actually held up fine. And it has a max drawdown of 19% this year, and it's up 45. So to me, it's like, okay, we are up 45. It's had a max drawdown of 19. Like, that's somewhat substantial, but all in all, I'm going to take that. So I'm going to subscribe to this guy right here and do the exact same thing. Add it to my trading bot. Let's go dollar amount. I'm just going to put in $52,000 just to round it right there. It'll say I have $700 remaining. Click on save. Boom, it rounds it up. And now it's going to rebalance this trading bot on this paper account based off these 3 trading strategies and the amount of money that I'm dedicating to each of them. So essentially, you can look at it as I split it up into thirds, a third here, a third here, and a third here. We've got a very strong and very promising strategy that essentially if we stay in a bull market, will do well based off of what I've researched into the strategy. We've got one right here that's done actually pretty well despite the market going down during the early part of this year, held up fine. And then we have one that sort of mimics what the S&P 500 is going to look like. So I've kind of got myself into a couple of things. It's diversified. It's not super risky because look at all these. 16% max drawdown, 18% max drawdown, 19% max drawdown. We don't have strategies that are super volatile. But what I could say is that if I really wanted to go crazy, I could go and find one of those more promising or robust strategies that are up much more. And I can throw one of those guys in here and know that it's not the end of the world if it doesn't do well, because it's only going to be 1/3 of my trading account that's dedicated to that strategy. So if it does have a 60% max drawdown, unless the other two strategies that I'm running at the exact same time also have huge drawdowns, we're probably not going to draw down our trading account 60%. So it just comes down to your own risk tolerance. One thing I'll also say is that when you're on the strategy page, if you don't want to do the trading bot, you can kind of test this out on your own without having to use like the full automated feature. Like, that's kind of the whole point of this. But if I go to the top right to these little bells right here, I can actually get notified when it takes trades. So I can set my notifications for all of these strategies. And when a trade is taken, I'll literally be notified on my phone. I can then go in my broker and take the trade if I want to, or I can kind of paper trade, or I can watch and see how things are playing out. But the biggest point that I want to make here is that these are trading strategies that are all being tracked in real time by third-party Polygon data feeds, which means whoever made these strategies, which wasn't me, whoever made the strategies, like when they place trades, when trades are triggered, we get to see how they actually trade. So there's a massive and full history we can actually go back in time and see. So we know it has a track record. We're not just going off of someone's word or just some random chart that we are, oh, the market's up, so I guess it's up. No, like these have been, you don't get a number on here unless you actually perform that way. So the strategies obviously have to get put to the test and they have to perform. Now, you can go and find strategies that absolutely suck. I mean, for example, jump into this guy right here, this moving average scalper right here by Coin Rule. I mean, that you want to talk about just a straight down, like this is the exact opposite of a curve that I'd want to see if I was trading something. So here's an example of one that just completely sucks, trading Bitcoin, but just sucks. The thing is down 68% this year alone. But the problem is that someone can make a back test that just so happens to like make it look perfect. Yet when it comes to actual live performance, you get a graph that looks like this. And we want to avoid the strategies that are being sold to us as like the next best thing and find the stuff that's actually working right now. And then ultimately have the discretion to go into our trading bot and move things around, add something new, change our allocations, turn things off. If I want to turn this thing off, click on that button and turn it off if it's doing bad and I want to reset. Like you have the ability to do that. And I think that's massive in this new age, new era of trading automation. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Go and check out that video that I did a deep dive on this mean reversion strategy. And if you have any specific strategies that you want me to deep dive in a future video, we can go and unpack the whole thing and try to understand what it's actually doing and then back test it, let me know and I'll be happy to do that in a future video. Thanks so much. See you in the next one.